of shift in India's response to terrorism. He said that the response has left terror backer shocked and afraid. And Congress, on the other hand, has taken a swipe at Prime Minister Modi, saying that Prime Minister is throwing out grand-sounding but hollow filmy dialogues in public rallies. The Congress has also questioned why the terrorists involved in the Pahelgam terror attack are still on the run.
हमारी सरकार ने तीनों सेनाओं को खुली छूट दे दी थी और तीनों सेनाओं ने मिलकर ऐसा चक्रव्यूह रचा कि पाकिस्तान को घुटने टेकने के लिए मजबूर कर दिया। 22 तारीख के हमले के जवाब में हमने 22 मिनट में आतंकियों के 9 सबसे बड़े ठिकाने तबाह कर दिए। दुनिया ने और देश के दुश्मनों ने भी देख लिया कि जब सिंदूर बारूद बन जाता है तो नतीजा क्या होता है। ये सिर्फ आक्रोश नहीं है, ये समर्थ भारत का रौद्र रूप है। ये भारत का नया स्वरूप है। आतंक का फन कुचलने की यही नीति है, यही रीति है, यही भारत है, नया भारत है। एटम बम की गीदड़ बप्तियों से भारत डरने वाला नहीं है। यहां से कुछ ही दूर सीमा पार पाकिस्तान का रहीम यार खान एयरबेस है। पता नहीं आगे कब खुलेगा। आईसीयू में पड़ा है। भारत की सेना के अचूक प्रहार ने इस एयरबेस को तहस नहस कर दिया है।
All right, let me quickly bring in Pallavi Ghosh, who's joining me on the broadcast with more perspective. Pallavi, when the Prime Minister says that Sindoor is being turned into Barood by India, what is the message going out there to Pakistan?
Well, I mean, there are 2 points over here, and clearly the Congress party has now decided to up its ante against the Prime Minister. But today the PM chose the venue, chose the time, and it's 1 month of the Pahelgam terror attack, and that too in Rajasthan. Interestingly, the last time round when the surgical airstrikes took place, and the PM made a reference to that also, Akanksha, that it is the same place. I came to Rajasthan, he was in Churu when he had reached out to the people and given a very, very strong statement against Pakistan. But look at the kind of Prime Minister's words today, high on emotion, very, very not mincing his words, making it very clear to the world and to the Pakistanis also that there's going to be a zero tolerance zone. And when you've heard the sentiments of many women over here in a country, he talked about Sindoor, ki mere khoon mein Sindoor hai aur khoon nahi hai, you know, in my veins. That is the point which he's trying to raise. It's also a messaging. It was not a very political speech in the sense that he did not target any political party. He did not counter-attack the Congress's criticism on him or much of the opposition parties. He's also very well aware that there is a multi-party delegation which is travelling. So it's best to be very diplomatic, very nuanced, and the real point of attack should be on Pakistan.
That's a very valid point that you've made. In fact, I should also be getting Payal in just a moment. But Pallavi, when you say that he kept the speech very focused on national security, what was the message going out there for the Congress party, which has now been reduced to just mere cacophony in the backdrop, when the Prime Minister is wholly focused on addressing the issue of Pakistan-sponsored terrorism?
Well, Akanksha, there are 2 points which Congress is raising, and even as we speak, they're putting out posts on the social media platform X. The 2 points that they're raising is that if it's 1 month of the Pahelgam attack, where are those terrorists? Why have they not yet been nabbed or even traced? That's one. Second, Donald Trump is repeatedly making the point that he mediated, he ensured that peace returns between India and Pakistan. Why is there not a strong rebuttal? And that strong rebuttal or response can come in by no less than the PM, and for that you either need a special session of parliament or another round of a closed door all-party meeting. Why is the government reluctant to call these two? Because the government seems reluctant, it seems that there's something to hide. I think, as I mentioned earlier, Akanksha, I think the strategy within the BJP and the mind in the Prime Minister's mind is very clear. This is not a time to engage in politics or to rebut Congress. That is going to happen all in good time. It's a somber moment. It's a 1 month of the Pahelgam terror attack. But more importantly, a multi-party delegation is traveling. You cannot make it embarrassing for them by engaging in tutu meme. That's the word of caution also being given to Congress. And very quickly, Akanksha, it's just a Congress in the opposition space. Other parties like the TMC, SP, by being mildly critical of the government over the selection of names for the delegation, are not speaking the language which the Congress is.
I think that's a very valid point. But I want to take that forward with Payal. Payal, with regards to BJP's strategy, especially when it comes to Congress's attacks, and as Pallavi was highlighting, that it is only the Congress party from the opposition which is continuing to attack BJP and its national security policy. So having said that, where does this leave the Congress? Is the party as a leading opposition voice now losing credibility?
Well, of course, multiple leaders within the opposition also say that the Congress party is actually in a damage mode. It's into a self-goal creation kind of a mode. And that is exactly what the Prime Minister or the Home Minister or multiple ministers in the government has said. This has been Congress's stated position. Isn't this the same party that actually asked you for proof of the Balakot strikes? In the past, what do you expect of them as well? But as of now, the only line that the BJP is currently maintaining, the Prime Minister has had the final word. This is about India. This is about India's fight against terrorism. Nothing more, nothing less as well. And that's the reason even parties like the DMK, which are absolutely opposed to what the BJP's ideology is, have not said a single word on this. TMC, of course, had an argument saying that we do not want Yusuf Pathan to go, we want Abhishek Banerjee to go. But other than that, they kept on constantly saying that whatever it be the case, we are absolutely shoulder to shoulder in support of the government in its fight against terrorism. So obviously, hopefully the Congress party will learn a lesson, because on one front, Rahul Gandhi spoke more maturity than any other leader did in the all-party meeting, impressing many ministers in the ruling side. On the other hand, you have Pawan Kheda and of course Jairam Ramesh in particular going on and on and on. And where does this leave Rahul Gandhi? Because his party has been in government for many a decades. Where does he leave him when in the middle of a situation where Sindoor is not, the operation Sindoor is not over, it's continuing, it's just been put on pause, and you want to find out how many jets we've lost. You know, we have to understand the military compulsion of the armed forces right now. We're not sitting right now and calculating what we've lost and what we've not lost. What we should be counting is how many losses we've caused to Pakistan, and that should be everybody's position. That's at least what the opposition parties across the platform have been saying.
Many thanks to you, Payal and Pallavi, for bringing us those extensive inputs. Now, Prime Minister Modi has also resolved to ensure that no trade or talks are going to take place with Pakistan, adding that India will not give its share of water or even spare the terror backers. Listen to what Prime Minister Modi said in Bikaner.
न ट्रेड होगा न टॉक. अगर बात होगी तो सिर्फ पाकिस्तान के कब्जे वाले कश्मीर की, पीओके की. और अगर पाकिस्तान ने आतंकियों को एक्सपोर्ट करना जारी रखा तो उसको पाई पाई के लिए मोहताज होना होगा. पाकिस्तान को भारत के हक का पानी नहीं मिलेगा. भारतीयों के खून से खेलना पाकिस्तान को महंगा पड़ेगा. ये भारत का संकल्प है और दुनिया की कोई ताकत हमें इस संकल्प से डिगा नहीं सकती है.
All right. Now, at a time India is busy with its diplomatic push through the multi-party delegations, India has left no stone unturned to also involve the opposition's point of view to be presented at the global stage. And these voices, remember, stand unified. Let's also listen in to what Priyanka Chaturvedi has had to say in that conversation she had with CNN News 18's Payal Mehta.
Joining us right now is UBT Member of Parliament Priyanka Chaturvedi. Priyanka, you're going on a visit with one of the delegations. But before we come to that, today a very, very emphatic statement again coming in from the Prime Minister. Anybody who tries to needle India and anybody who tries to send terrorism and terrorists across to us will not be spared. He said the country now realizes that, बारूद भरा हुआ है, लोगों के people are keeping a calm head, but they are very, very angry.
See, our delegation is going with the spirit of unity that was shown at the all-party meetings that were held immediately after Pahelgam and after the conclusion of Operation Sindoor's where terror camps were destroyed. And that is where all the parties, including the opposition, had said that we stand in solidarity with the government and whatever action they take to handle these terrorism activities coming out of Pakistan. Our mission is also similar, that we will talk about what our armed forces have achieved and what Operation Sindoor was about, and that we have been the victims of terror. There's no escalation ever coming from India. The escalation has always been instigated by Pakistan through their terror activities. So in regards to that, we stand united. We do also have some questions which my party believes should be addressed in an all-party meeting, and we should, at this point in time, globally rally together to speak for the nation as one united front.
Is that one thing that the Congress party has not been able to understand? Because Jairam Ramesh has been making statements after statements. Rahul Gandhi has constantly been questioning. Dr. Jaishankar also been questioning how many jets we lost. And on the other side, your party, especially the leadership that I can speak about, the leadership that actually matters in your party, has not said any of this. TMC has not said any of this. Multiple parties, including DMK, has not said anything on this. Is the Congress party not able to understand what's really going on? Because members from their party are also in the delegation.
So I don't know what the political communication is from the Congress party, simply because that's a party which would have decided on what grounds they will be speaking, how they will be going about it. But however, what cannot be denied is that 5 senior MPs of the Congress party are part of the all-party delegation that has gone. One of them is led by Shri Shashi Tharoor. There is Manish Tiwari, there's Anand Sharma, there is Salman Khurshid ji, there is Amar Singh ji in my own delegation who would be travelling. So at this point where, yes, we are going along with the government of India, we are going along with the idea of speaking our story, telling the story about our, the terrorism that we have faced over the years, over decades from Pakistan. And at the same time, both the Bharatiya Janata Party social media team as well as the Congress party's, various communication seems to show that the same political spirit that we had shown of unity seems to be missing between the two national parties.
Also, a very important beginning that we've really had. Japan has come out strongly in our support. UAE has come out in our support very, very strongly, essentially saying that, no religion, leave aside Islam, will ever support killing of innocents.
Absolutely. No religion will ever support aiding, abetting, financing, arming terrorists. And those terrorists thriving in Pakistan are providing terrorism activities globally. They are working on contract basis to spread terror across the world. USA would need to realize. Japan, I'm sure, realizes. UAE realizes. Saudi Arabia realizes. European countries realize. European countries have been at the receiving end of terror activities. US has been at the receiving end. US should not forget that Osama bin Laden was found in Pakistan. Today, a Hafiz Saeed continues to survive in Pakistan, protected by the Pakistani army. So, 26/11 when it happened, I come from Mumbai. I feel very strongly about it. That wiped off over 160 people's lives, out of which they were not just Indians, they were Israelis. They were American citizens. They were European citizens. So we need to stand united against terrorism. We are not asking them to take a stance for one country versus another. We are talking to them that we should have a global alliance against terrorism, and anybody aiding, abetting terrorism should be isolated globally. They should be named, shamed. And everybody knows which that country is. That is Pakistan.
My final question to you, Priyanka, you've been on many delegations, across the globe, but this must be really special given the fact that you represent brand India in a big way at the back of Operation Sindoor. For the benefit of our viewers, what is the significance of the countries that you will be going to as part of your delegation?
I think considering my 1.5 decade of experience of representing my political parties as well as my point of view about India to the world has been extremely satisfying, because I've seen the change of how people look at Pakistan vis-a-vis India. At the same time, we have seen a wrong narrative being presented to the world, and that is what we are going to be exposing. And let's not forget, it's not just coming from Pakistan, it's coming with a lot of support from China as well. So these countries become significant because they are in a trade agreement, in various trade agreements with China. They have been, some of them were made to believe about the propaganda coming from China as well as Pakistan. So that is why it becomes all the more significant to tell them about the India story, and also remind them that they have been at the receiving end of terrorism. They have seen people's lives lost, whether it's the London bombing, whether it is in various other countries because of extremism, and everything has roots in Pakistan, that they would need to ally with a country like India, which is using its armed forces in the spirit of eroding the entire terror base that exists in Pakistan. I think not just India, the global world order should be thanking our armed forces for undertaking this activity of, showing zero tolerance to terrorism.
Thank you so much for talking to us. With Virijan's Chintan in Delhi, Payal Mehta.
Speaking of India's diplomatic push, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, in a big statement, has slammed Pakistan's Army Chief Asim Munir, saying that he is driven by religious outlook and only few listen to him. He also said that in the Pahelgam terror attack, a fresh element of religion has been introduced, aiming to create communal disharmony. Jaishankar clarified that India is open to talks with Pakistan on terror alone and ruled out any discussions on Kashmir. Listen in to what the External Affairs Minister had to say.
The role of Mr. Trump is interesting also in another way. He claimed, for example, that he solved the recent flare-up in the violence between India and Pakistan. How do you see his role?
Look, I think where we had the recent fighting between India and Pakistan, first of all, you got to understand what it was about. Okay, it started because it was triggered by a very barbaric terrorist attack in the Indian Union territory of Jammu and Kashmir, where 26 tourists were murdered in front of their families after ascertaining their fate. And it was done in a way in which it was intended to harm tourism, which is the mainstay of the Kashmir economy, and to create a religious discord. You have a Pakistani leadership, especially their army chief, who's very driven by extreme religious outlook. So there is clearly some connect between, the views that were expressed and the behavior that was done. I think we were able to identify who they were because there were pictures of them. The attack, there was a body which called the Resistance Front, which took responsibility for that attack. And that's a body which has been on our radar for a number of years. In 2023, 24 and 25, we brought this body to the attention of the UN Security Council's 1267 Sanctions Committee. And we said, look, we see this as a body which has been created by the Lashkar. Lashkar is the main terrorist group in Pakistan, one of the two main terrorist groups. And we can see the connection. So we had, well before the April 22nd attack, we had already drawn this to the attention of the United Nations. Now, these are the very places which are named in this. These are the ones which we hit on the 7th of May.
The governance of Kashmir, or maybe even the lines that separate the different, is that up for negotiations in such conversations?
No, because Kashmir is part of India. No country negotiates a part of its territory. So for us, Kashmir is part of India. There is one segment of Kashmir which is today under occupation of Pakistan illegally since 1947-48. So we are, we would like to discuss with them when they propose to leave that part and hand
There's
it back.
no magic role Mr.
to-
Trump can play here.
It is something between us and the Pakistanis.
Interestingly, on the very same day, the US President Donald Trump has repeated his claim that he helped reduce tensions between India and Pakistan. He said his personal diplomacy and ongoing trade talks with India and with both countries, in fact, played a key role in de-escalation. Trump has made similar claims earlier as well, even suggesting that he prevented a possible nuclear war between the two nations. However, India has firmly rejected his remarks. The External Affairs Minister, Dr. Jaishankar, stated that the ceasefire was achieved only through direct communication between India and Pakistan, without any third-party mediation. India clarified that while other countries were informed, the decision to stop hostilities was made bilaterally. Listen in to what Donald Trump had to say.
If you take a look at what we just did with Pakistan and India, we settled that whole thing, and I think I settled it through trade. We're doing a big deal with India, we're doing a big deal with Pakistan, and I said, what are you guys doing? Somebody had to be the last one to shoot. But the shooting was getting worse and worse, bigger and bigger, deeper and deeper into the countries. And we spoke to them, and I think I hate to say we got it settled, and then 2 days later, something happens, and they say it's Trump's fault. But Pakistan has got some excellent people and some really good, a great leader. And India is my friend, Modi. And he's a
mutual friend.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Both armies were able to talk to each other, initiated by the Pakistani army?
Yes, we have a mechanism to talk to each other as a hotline.
Yep.
So on the 10th of May, it was the Pakistani army which sent a message that they were ready to stop firing, and we responded accordingly.
And where was the US in this process?
Well, the US was in the United States. I mean, obviously there were US, Secretary of State Rubio and Vice President Vance had called up. Rubio had spoken to me. Vance had spoken to our Prime Minister. They had their view, and they were talking to us, and they were talking to Pakistanis, as indeed were some other countries.
Yep.
I mean, the United States was not alone in this. I think there were some countries in the Gulf, there were some others as well. That happens naturally. When two countries are engaged in a conflict, it is natural that countries in the world call up and ask and try to sort of indicate their concern and what they can do in such a situation. But the ceasefire, the cessation of firing and military action was something which was negotiated directly between India and Pakistan. We made one thing very clear to everybody who spoke to us, not just United States, but to everybody, saying, look, if the Pakistanis want to stop firing, they need to tell us. We need to hear it from them. Their general has to call up our general and say this. And that is what happened.
All right, Siddhant Mishra joins me on the phone line with more input. Siddhant, at a time when domestically there are attacks being directed towards the Prime Minister and the government with regards to why isn't there an intervention with regards to what Donald Trump has been repeatedly claiming, is the message not loud and clear when Dr. Jaishankar delivers that firm stance, especially in the Netherlands? All right, we'll try and reconnect with Siddhant, but remember, the foreign minister was in the Netherlands and giving an interview to one of the Netherlands' leading channels over there. And that's when he not just thanked the Dutch for their support, especially when it comes to Operation Sindoor. He's in fact delivered a very firm stance in terms of how there was a cessation of hostilities only after the decision was arrived upon bilaterally. Siddhant is back with us. Siddhant, I said that, at a time when there are repeated attacks domestically as well, raising questions with regards to why is there no intervention in terms of the repeated claims being made by Donald Trump, has Dr. Jaishankar not delivered a loud and clear message in the Netherlands?
Well, absolutely, and this is not the first time that Indian government has made its position clear. Perhaps at the ministry level, at the level of the minister, and many times Indian government has set the record straight, not just for the United States but also for the world. And in the same series, in fact, Minister Jaishankar gave interview to the media outlet in Netherlands, and in fact he again reiterated India's position. Perhaps this time around he, in fact, went on to say what he exactly said to Marco Rubio, or perhaps what Indian side told to the Americans and the other countries who were in touch with India at that point in time, that if Pakistanis want us to stop firing, then they need to talk to us directly. Perhaps that was the message which India conveyed to the US and the other countries which were in touch with India during Operation Sindoor. Now, from where Donald Trump understood it as a mediation, or rather Akanksha, Donald Trump has this old habit of playing footsie with the facts, and but now he's counting it as one of the achievements of his foreign policy in the last 5 months.
Stay with me, Siddhant. We have some breaking inputs coming in from the Ministry of External Affairs. As remember, in a press briefing, India has now sent a fresh and strong message to Pakistan, and those questioning the External Affairs Minister on giving a heads up to Pakistan with regards to Operation Sindoor. The Ministry of External Affairs has categorically stated, and let me quote, हमने पाकिस्तान को जब मारने के बाद बताया, हमने Operation Sindoor के तहत right to respond किया है. Siddhant continues to stay with me. Siddhant, take us through what has been maintained by the spokesperson, Shri Randhir Jaiswal.
Well, again, the same position of the government of India, Kanksha. In fact, we have also been reporting from 10th of May. This is the standard position of India. Perhaps there's no change at all. But since, people in the government of the United States, President Trump himself, have been, putting in all their resources, energies, to take credit of the understanding reached between India and Pakistan. So, on each media interaction here at the ministry level, also this question is asked to the to the spokesperson, to which he said that this is also have to do with what leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi said the other day. And now again a response has come from Ministry of External Affairs where the spokesperson has made it very clear कि हमने पाकिस्तान को पहले मारा है, फिर उनको बताया है कि ये कार्यवाही जो है वो आतंक के ठिकानों पर की गई है. This particular strike has been done on the terror camps in POJK and Pakistan. So Pakistan was informed after the strikes, not before the strike. Perhaps there has been clarification also coming from the Ministry of External Affairs since day one. But the leader of opposition and in fact the people in the Congress party have been attacking EMS Jaishankar perhaps for the false representation of the soundbite which he gave the other day at the inauguration of an embassy here in the New Delhi.
Absolutely. And with regards to the kind of support that's been coming in for Islamabad, whether it is from Ankara or Beijing, what is it and how is it that the ministry has responded today?
Well, as far as Turkey's role is concerned, Akanksha, there is a statement which has come from the spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal, and in fact he says, and I quote him, that we expect Turkey to strongly urge Pakistan to end its support to cross-border terrorism and take credible and verifiable actions against the terror ecosystem it has harbored for decades. Now, this is the first response from the Minister of External Affairs as far as Turkey's support to Pakistan is concerned. Having said that, there is also a response which Ministry of External Affairs has given to all these stories doing the rounds that China is helping Pakistan, China is building dam for Pakistan, to which ministry has to say that the Chinese side is aware that mutual trust, mutual respect and mutual sensitivity remains the basis of India-China relations.
Many thanks to you, Siddhant, for bringing us all those extensive details on that news story. Now remember, it is 30 days since Pahelgam. We'll be bringing you some ground reports as we shift focus. 30 days on and the Pahelgam terror attack continues to haunt Indians, and India continues its strong response both militarily and diplomatically. The deadly assault which shook the nation, prompting an unwavering crackdown on terror networks and the launch of Operation Sindoor to retaliate against those responsible. From intensified security measures in Jammu and Kashmir to global outreach, India's stance has been firm. There's going to be zero tolerance towards terrorism. India's retaliatory responses have exposed the deep-rooted terror links, with diplomatic efforts now in full swing as India pushes its case to the United Nations and key global powers. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar for the first time has spoken about Pahelgam terror attack, saying that Pakistan Army Chief is driven by extreme religious outlook, adding further that India will continue to respond to terror if Pak does not back down. Meanwhile, security forces have eliminated several terror operatives, with counter-insurgency operations continuing in the valley in full force. As India stands united, the world watches on. Can this response reshape how nations, particularly India, is tackling cross-border terrorism? The fight is far from over.
ऐसे नहीं, ये बताइए, आज सुबह को गए हुए पूरा 1 महीना हुआ, क्या लगता है कि आप लोगों का दर्द कम हुआ है या उसी तरह?
हमने आज घर पे शांति पाठ किया था और उसकी आत्मा की शांति के लिए हवन किया था। रोज़ हम यही भगवान से मनाते भी हैं कि जहाँ पे भी हो वो उसकी आत्मा को शांति रहे, ठीक हो, खुश हो। आज बस हमने यही किया, उसको बहुत ही याद कर रहे थे सब लोग। इस घटना को कोई भूल नहीं सकता। मुझे लगता है ये पूरा देश इस घटना को पूरी तरीके से याद रखेगा। हर जगह यही बात होगी कि इस पहलगाम हमले को 22 अप्रैल को 1 महीना हो चुका है। इसके अलावा हम सरकार से एक ही बात शुरुआत से कर रहे हैं कि मैं पहले दिन से बोल रही हूँ कि उसको शहीद का दर्जा दिया जाए। आज भी मुझे उम्मीद है कि सरकार इस पर कुछ तो सोच रही होगी, कुछ तो करेगी। उम्मीद पूरी है कि शुभम को शहीद का दर्जा मिलेगा।
क्या हुआ था शुरुआत से लेकर तक?
हम 17 अप्रैल को पहुँचे थे और हम पूरी फैमिली के 11 लोग थे, हम सब गए थे। 2:10 या 2:15 में हम पहुँचे थे और ये घटना 2:25 पे हुई है। 2:25 पे वो आए, उन्होंने पूछा हिंदू है या मुसलमान। एक बंदा था पीछे से ही आया था, हम समझ ही नहीं पाए क्या है, क्योंकि शुरुआत हम नहीं समझ पाओगे। हमने पूछा क्या हुआ भैया, फिर दोबारा बोला हिंदू है मुसलमान, मुसलमान है तो कलमा पढ़। शुभम ने प्राउडली बोला हिंदू है, और उसका सेंटेंस ख़त्म भी नहीं हुआ था कि उसको मार दिया। वहाँ के जितने लोग मारे गए हैं उन सब ने बोला होगा बहुत प्राउडली कि हम हिंदू हैं, और हम अपने ही देश में हिंदू होने की वजह से मार दिए गए हैं।
जैसे कि आपको भी पता है 1 महीना होने को आया है, तो मेरे भाई की जो 22 अप्रैल को जो वो हादसा हुआ था उसमें मेरे भाई की जो डेथ हुई थी, उन्होंने जो शहादत पाई थी, तो उस वजह से हम मतलब बहुत खुश थे। उन्होंने जो काम किया था बहुत ही अच्छा काम किया था। उन्होंने किसी की मतलब टूरिस्ट को सेव करते हुए उनकी जान बचाई थी और अपनी जान दे दी थी। उन्होंने जो वहाँ पे काम किया था वो प्राउड वाला काम था। और उसके बाद जो है मोदी जी ने ऑपरेशन सिंदूर जो स्टार्ट किया था वो भी एक बेहतरीन कदम था, वो भी एक बहुत अच्छा मतलब कदम था। और जो वहाँ पे निहत्थे लोगों का कत्ल हुआ था उनका जो बदला लिया था, तो उससे हम बहुत खुश हैं।
The aftermath of the Pahelgam terror attack has claimed 26 lives and has already altered history. After the attack, a massive shift in public sentiment has been witnessed among the locals of Kashmir. And CNN News 18's Ishan Wani brings you a report.
For the first time in decades, a significant number of Kashmiris have publicly sided with the nation in condemning terrorism. Public sentiment in the valley has been marked by a mix of grief, fear and frustration, coupled with a shift towards unity against terror. People took to the streets from all walks of life, condemning the Pahelgam attack. Kashmiris across the board expressed unanimous condemnation of the attack, with many locals, including hoteliers and residents, describing it as a tragedy unprecedented in its scale.
इस किलिंग से जो है पूरी कौम शर्मसार है, पूरी कश्मीरियत शर्मसार है और पूरी कश्मीरी आवाम जो है शर्मसार है। और ये अटैक जो है ये टूरिस्ट्स पे नहीं है, ये कश्मीरियों पे हैं, ये कश्मीरियत पे है, ये इंसानियत पे है। और हम जो है इसकी पुरजोर मजम्मत करते हैं।
The attack was a reminder of the growing frustration of Pakistan against peace established in the valley after almost 4 decades. For the first time in years, Kashmiris were witnessing nightlife and cinema. The attack severely impacted Kashmir's tourism, a critical economic driver.
पूरा ही काम डाउन हो गया, काम तो है नहीं, आप नज़र दौड़ा सकते हैं मार्केट की, कहीं कस्टमर दिख नहीं रहा है. It is round about 100% downfall is there because we don't have tourists. Our main business was with the tourists and they are not coming.
The Pahelgam attack prompted a robust response from the security forces, with increased coordination between police and the army, alongside a shift in counter-terror strategies. 6 terrorists have been killed so far in 2 operations since the Pahelgam attack. While the hunt for the Pahelgam attackers is on, the local support against terror has reflected a collaborative effort between security agencies and locals to root out terrorism.
यहाँ की पब्लिक है, मैं उनका भी धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगा. हम सभी सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस की तरफ से मैं उनका धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगा कि उनके सहयोग के बगैर इस तरीके की सफलता और आतंकवाद का सफाया करना मुश्किल ही नहीं, नामुमकिन है. और इस सफलता इस बात का भी ये प्रत्यक्ष प्रमाण है कि पब्लिक खुद चाहती है कि इस आतंकवाद का, इस दहशतगर्दी का जम्मू एंड कश्मीर से सफाया पूरी तरह से हो सके.
Despite the trauma and economic fallout, Kashmiris are showing remarkable resilience to rebuild trust and revive the valley's image as a safe destination.
Kashmir log is very helpful, very truthful and very supportive of this, and we are safe here. No worries for tourism. Tourists can come from many parts of the world.
बहुत अच्छा माहौल है और कोई डर नहीं है.
The government is trying to ensure they send a message that Kashmir is peaceful and this attack would not hamper Kashmiris from standing against terrorism and welcoming those who want to come to Kashmir. With Bashir Lone in Srinagar, Shanwani for CNN News 18.
With that, we're slipping into a quick break. Stay tuned to CNN News 18 for all the news and updates.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
CNN News 18's Aman Sharma joins us with more details. Aman, while we've seen the Prime Minister, several NDA ministers, top diplomats put out this message very clearly to Pakistan the last so many days, ever since Operation Sindoor was executed and successfully executed. But this time around, the Prime Minister also seems to be sending out a larger message to the world that India is not going to take the terror menace lying low and the entire world must watch, is why we're also sending out our representatives to put forth the message.
Absolutely, Kritzween. This is the Prime Minister's first public rally since, Operation Sindoor, and, he did go to the Adampur Air Base and make a speech there last week as well. But this public rally is very significant because this is again a border airbase, and the Prime Minister mentioned that the Null airbase where he landed earlier today morning, in his Hercules, the Pakistan had tried to damage this airbase as well, but could not even touch it. There was no damage to India, but across the border, not very far away, is the Rahim Yar Khan airbase, which India targeted and has completely destroyed it. The Prime Minister saying that, nobody knows, even Pakistan doesn't know when that airbase will start operating. It is in the ICU, and, the runways there were destroyed by India. There are satellite images, confirming that same. So I think the Prime Minister's message today is very clear that, look, on April 22nd, when terrorists opened fire in Pahelgam, they didn't just kill 26 innocent tourists of ours, they also hurt every Indian who was, enraged, who was unhappy over what had happened. And we had fulfilled our vow with Operation Sindoor. जब सिंदूर बारूद बन जाता है तो दुनिया ने देखा है क्या होता है. This line by the Prime Minister, underlines, I feel, what the impact of Operation Sindoor has been. The Prime Minister also calling out Pakistan's nuclear bluff, saying that we have now 3 new normals. If a terror strike happens on our soil, it is an act of war. We will come after you militarily. The border doesn't matter. You can't hide behind in any part of Pakistan safely if you commit terror strikes against India. India will not differentiate between state sponsors of terror and terrorist organizations themselves. This is a new change that Mr. Modi has been speaking about. And the third, that we will not succumb to any nuclear blackmail. At first, the nuclear bluff has been called by India by attacking 8 to 9 Pakistani air bases on May the 10th and destroying them and causing them multiple damage to Pakistan. Also, I think the Prime Minister's message that talks and on trade talks cannot go on with Pakistan. The only issue that is left of talking to Pakistan is Pakistan occupied Kashmir, the vacation of Pakistan occupied Kashmir by Pakistan. The Prime Minister making it clear that not a drop of India's share of water will go to Pakistan, and if Pakistan does a misadventure again, like the one it has done in Pahelgam, it will pai ke liye mohtaj kar denge, the line that the Prime Minister has used. So I think this is a very, very significant message. Also, the Prime Minister saying that the April 22nd terror attack, India avenged within 22 minutes by destroying the terrorist headquarters inside Pakistan. So I think these are very, very strong words and speaks of India's policy going ahead in the future.
And throughout, he was crediting the Indian Armed Forces for their valor, for successfully executing the operation in 22 minutes, for their valor really having brought Pakistan to its knees. Those were the words of the Prime Minister. Aman, stay on with us. Akash Sharma joins us on the broadcast too. Akash, tell us about the significance of the Nal Air Base and whether or not we can expect the Prime Minister interact with the air warriors there. Are we to expect visuals to that effect? And how the Prime Minister drew a comparison to what Pakistan was trying to tell the world based on a false version of the significant damage it's caused to this particular airbase in comparison to the reality that the Rahim Yar Khan airbase is seeing today.
Right. So, Christine, as far as Nal Air Base is concerned, so it is strategically important for India. It is very close to the international border with Pakistan and is one of the air bases that were targeted by Pakistan on that particular day. However, nothing happened, and we know how air defenses of India worked on that particular day. Nal Air Base is the same, air base where we are going to have the first squadron of Tejas Mark 1 Alpha, the upgrade of the indigenous Tejas fighter. And we have been told that as of now, it is having one squadron of MiG-21 Bison. MiG-21 are, aircraft, much celebrated aircraft, will be phased out, of course, because we have only two.
Welcome back. Trouble is further mounting for Karnataka's Home Minister G. Parmeshwara as the ED raids continue for a second consecutive day at the colleges run by G. Parmeshwara's family. Now the Enforcement Directorate has come out with an official statement alleging that a Bengaluru-based educational trust paid 40 lakh rupees towards her credit card bill with no legitimate documentation or vouchers to support the payment. The Enforcement Directorate has alleged that Rane Rao is at the centre of a complex money laundering network involving Hawala operators, shell companies and unregulated foreign exchange businesses. Meanwhile, Karnataka's Home Minister has refused to comment on the alleged link, stating that the investigation is underway and he will abide by the law.
Now, I don't know, I do not want to comment at this point of time. Let the investigation complete, and they will also have to give us a report. No? Yes. After that, I will react. Otherwise, I don't want to react unnecessarily.
Rane Rao ED case, I just spoke to Dr. Parmeshwar. There was a marriage. See, we are in public life. We run institutions. So many run institutions. As a gesture to people who know, we may give a lot of gifts. We give gifts. We give 1 rupee, we give 10 rupees, we give 10 lakhs, 5 lakhs. I think that he might have also given a gift for the marriage. I think there is nothing wrong in it. No minister or no politician will support the activities. Whatever the activities has done by that lady, it is a personal issue and it is wrong, and the law will take its own course. As far as Parmeshwar is concerned, who knows that we meet thousands of people every day. We doesn't know who does what. So the law will take its own course. We don't want to interfere with the law or the ED. But as for Parmeshwar, I just discussed with him. I met him this morning. I asked him what is the reality. He said that the type of marriage he has given and he has gifted, quite natural.
All right, let's quickly go across to Harish Upadhyay, who will shed more light on the developments. He joins me live on the broadcast. Harish, what is one to make of 40 lakh rupees being given as a gift to Rane Rao by Parmeshwara?
Well, perhaps this is something that the institution might struggle to explain, because remember, going by what the ED is hinting in its release, they are saying 40 lakh rupees of credit card bill of Rane Rao was cleared by the education trust. not from Parameshwara's personal account. This is from the educational trust that he's running.
Okay.
And the ED says there are no bills or vouchers to support. This was some sort of a payment made to Ranya Rao for a service extended, which means the entire transaction is under scanner. Remember, according to Indian laws, even if you are giving a gift to 40 lakh rupees, that needs to be accounted for. And that can't go out from an education institution trust, because there are certain regulations on how a trust is governed, and 40 lakh rupees can't be given as a gift to somebody. So even this argument or reason being given by DK Kumar is something that won't hold any legal sanctity, or this can't be given as a justification either to the agency or in the courts.
Many thanks to you, Harish, for bringing us all those inputs and adding perspective to that news story. Remember, the political reactions continue to come in. Let's listen into some voices.
It's all ED, CBI, IT, everything being misutilized by central government. Everybody knows about it. Even the Supreme Court has time and again have said that ED is being misused. That should not happen. So it is in the public domain.
See, there is nothing new about IT and ED raids targeting opposition leaders. In the last 10 years, 193 cases have happened, out of which only 2 cases is been convicted. The Supreme Court also has pulled up IT and ED for their randomness. They have pulled up for their selective targeting. What is new about it? We will face it. Anybody who does not listen to the central government, anybody who does not, anybody who questions Modi ji is targeted to all this. Today it's him, tomorrow it's going to be me. There's nothing new about it. We'll face it.
All right, getting and breaking inputs from Tirumala. In fact, there was commotion over a namaz that was being offered in Tirumala as a Muslim man offered namaz near the Tirumala Kalyana Mandapam wearing a Hazrat cap. Vigilance officials are currently engaged in identifying who the person is and why did he offer the namaz there. A search is also underway for the person based on the car number and the CCTV footage that they have been able to access. Those visuals, in fact, coming in of that man offering namaz in Tirumala over there. PV Ramana brings us more inputs. Ramana, take us through what exactly ensued and have they been able to ascertain the identity of this man?
Still, the Vigilance Enforcement Department team, Vigilance Police is searching for that particular person who did the namaz in the premises of Tirumala temple. In fact, it is completely prohibited in Tirumala Hills because if the person who wanted to enter into the Tirumala Hills, there is a strict prohibition of other religion, even literature, dress, whatever the thing will be there, that will be removed outside of the at the entrance of the Tirumala Hills itself. There will be thorough check will be conducted and accordingly all this there will be removed. But the person entered into the Tirumala Hills and it is the namaz wearing that Hazrat cap and all, it is creating sensation in Tirumala. The police is searching for him. That video was shot by some other and it is going on viral in the social media. Meanwhile, that person has given a complaint to the Vigilance Department with this particular video, and police is now they are doing the searching for that particular person based on his car number and all. And even as of now, there is no update on that. Still, they are searching for him because it's a very holy place, and there is the Tirumala is very holy place for Hindus. There is completely prohibition of other religion, whatever the things, whether it is literature, whether it is dress, whether it is cap, whatever it will be there, that will be removed. Even that vehicle enters into the Tirumala Hills also, if there is any stickers kind of a thing, that will be removed at the entrance itself. So one person entered into the temple and he is doing wearing the Hazrat and he is doing namaz. It is definitely one of the biggest sensational things that definitely police will definitely it will be taken by the police very seriously by the police, and they are searching accordingly how to see what exactly will happen, and is he identified or not will come to know very soon.
All right. Many thanks to you, Ramana, for bringing us all those latest inputs on that news story. It's led to quite a sensation. We await more inputs coming in from the authorities. With that, we're slipping into a quick break. Stay tuned to Nation at 5 for the latest news and updates.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
CNN News 18's Aman Sharma joins us with more details. Aman, while we've seen the Prime Minister, several NDA ministers, top diplomats put out this message very clearly to Pakistan the last so many days, ever since Operation Sindoor was executed and successfully executed. But this time around, the Prime Minister also seems to be sending out a larger message to the world that India is not going to take the terror menace lying low, and the entire world must watch, is why we're also sending out our representatives to put forth the message.
Absolutely, Kritsween. This is the Prime Minister's first public rally since, Operation Sindoor, and, he did go to the Adampur Air Base and make a speech there last week as well. But this public rally is very significant because this is again a border airbase, and the Prime Minister mentioned that the Null airbase where he landed earlier today morning, in his Hercules, the Pakistan had tried to damage this airbase as well, but could not even touch it. There was no damage to India, but across the border, not very far away, is the Rahim Yar Khan airbase, which India targeted and has completely destroyed it. The Prime Minister saying that, nobody knows, even Pakistan doesn't know when that airbase will start operating. It is in the ICU. And, the runways there were destroyed by India. There are satellite images, confirming that same. So I think the Prime Minister's message today is very clear that, look, on April 22nd, when terrorists opened fire in Pahelgam, they didn't just kill 26 innocent tourists of ours. They also hurt every Indian who was, enraged, who was unhappy over what had happened. And we had fulfilled our vow with Operation Sindoor. जब सिंदूर बारूद बन जाता है तो दुनिया ने देखा है क्या होता है. This line by the Prime Minister, underlines, I feel, what the impact of Operation Sindoor has been. The Prime Minister also calling out Pakistan's nuclear bluff, saying that we have now 3 new normals. If a terror strike happens on our soil, it is an act of war. We will come after you militarily. The border doesn't matter. You can't hide behind in any part of Pakistan safely if you commit terror strikes against India. India will not differentiate between state sponsors of terror and terrorist organizations themselves. This is a new change that Mr. Modi has been speaking about. And the third, that we will not succumb to any nuclear blackmail. At first, the nuclear bluff has been called by India by attacking 8 to 9 Pakistani air bases on May the 10th and destroying them and causing them multiple damage to Pakistan. Also, I think the Prime Minister's message that talks and on trade talks cannot go on with Pakistan. The only issue that is left of talking to Pakistan is Pakistan occupied Kashmir, the vacation of Pakistan occupied Kashmir by Pakistan. The Prime Minister making it clear that not a drop of India's share of water will go to Pakistan, and if Pakistan does a misadventure again, like the one it has done in Pahelgam, it will pai ke liye mohtaj kar denge, the line that the Prime Minister has used. So I think this is a very, very significant message. Also, the Prime Minister saying that the April 22nd terror attack, India avenged within 22 minutes by destroying the terrorist headquarters inside Pakistan. So I think these are very, very strong words and speaks of India's policy going ahead in the future.
And throughout, he was crediting the Indian Armed Forces for their valor, for successfully executing the operation in 22 minutes, for their valor really having brought Pakistan to its knees. Those were the words of the Prime Minister. Man, stay on with us. Akash Sharma joins us on the broadcast too. Akash, tell us about the significance of the Nal Air Base and whether or not we can expect the Prime Minister interact with the air warriors there. Are we to expect visuals to that effect? And how the Prime Minister drew a comparison to what Pakistan was trying to tell the world based on a false version of the significant damage it's caused to this particular airbase in comparison to the reality that the Rahim Yar Khan airbase is seeing today.
Right. So, Christine, as far as Nal airbase is concerned, so it is strategically important for India. It is very close to the international border with Pakistan and is one of the air bases that were targeted by Pakistan on that particular day. However, nothing happened, and we know how air defenses of India worked on that particular day.
Welcome back. In a shocking incident, 2 people entered actor Salman Khan's Galaxy apartment in Mumbai on 19th and 20th of May respectively, and CNN News 18 has learned that a man entered the Bollywood superstar's house at around 7:15 p.m. on 20th of May. However, he was soon caught. He has been identified as Jitendra Kumar Singh and is said to be a resident of Chhattisgarh. He is currently in police custody, and prior to this, a woman also tried to enter Salman Khan's residence in the wee hours of the same day. She has been identified as Isha Chabra and is reportedly 32 years old. The woman was near the lift area of Salman Khan's building when the security guards caught her. She was then handed over to the Bandra police. A case has been filed and further investigation is also underway. According to the Mumbai police sources, both accused told the cops that they are fans of the actor and they only wanted to meet him. Khan has reached his apartment now, as is being shared by our sources. Yesha Kotak joins me on the phone line with more inputs. Yesha, to begin with, have the Mumbai police been able to establish any kind of link between both these trespassing incidents?
When you speak of visuals that have been reported, Mumbai police is so far investigating the case, but there is opinion that both of these are individual cases and that they were both fans of Salman Khan. As far as details from the investigation are concerned, sources have also said that both of these people are not really linked, but individually they were fans, and which is why they tried to enter Salman Khan's residence. When it comes to Isha Chhabra, who is one of the accused in this case, she entered the lift all the way. However, when it comes to the other accused, Jitendra Kumar, he entered only until the gate of Salman Khan's apartment, that's Galaxy, following which he was nabbed by the cops. Now here, in fact, statements by the cop who had nabbed him speaks about how he tried to enter the building first, requested the guards to help him enter. However, he was denied, following which in a fit of rage, he also threw his phone. But later on, because one of the car of the resident of the same Galaxy apartment was entering, he tried to enter hiding behind the car, and that's where he was picked up, nabbed by the cops and handed over to Bandra police station.
Many thanks to you, Yesha, for bringing us all those details. And with that, let's end on an entertaining note as Aishwarya Rai Bachchan just gave Sindoor a global moment at the Cannes red carpet for her 22nd appearance at the film festival. I leave you with this colourful report. Thank you so much for watching Nation at 5.
एक चुटकी सिंदूर की कीमत तुम क्या जानो रमेश बाबू? Well, Ramesh Babu can quietly sit down in one corner, take notes and learn a thing or two. Because Aishwarya Rai Bachchan just gave Sindoor a global moment on the Cannes red carpet. And the internet is still picking its jaw up off the floor. For her 22nd appearance at the festival, Aishwarya showed up in a custom Manish Malhotra Kishore sari gown hybrid, dripping in Chandi zari, brocade motifs and sequins. But forget the fabric. It was that bold swipe of red sindoor flowing against her perfectly parted hair that turned this into a moment of pure cinematic drama. For the first time in a long time, she brought the Indian tradition to the French Riviera. That sindoor wasn't just a nod to culture, it was a mic drop. For months, there's been non-stop buzz about her marriage to Abhishek Bachchan. Rumors of a split, distant public appearances and endless social media chatter. But at the most prestigious global fashion event, Aishwarya chose to wear her story, not with words but with sindoor. And that said more than any statement ever could. Additionally, netizens think the sindoor had a dual hidden meaning. One we have already highlighted. Second, as turning into a quiet ambassador for India after Operation Sindoor. She walked that red carpet like a one-woman cultural delegation. Regal, rooted and radiant. She kept the rest of the look razor sharp, sleek hair, a striking red lip, and a neck droning in 500 carats of Mozambique rubies and uncut diamonds, all set in 18K gold. After 2 decades of unforgettable fashion at Cannes, golden mermaid gowns, butterfly capes, icy blue ball gowns, Aishwarya just delivered her most powerful look yet. One streak of sindoor and the queen made it clear, tradition isn't retro, it's revolutionary.
Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. Today is the 1-month anniversary of the Pahelgam terror attack. 26 innocent men were brutally killed in that attack after segregating them on the basis of religion. Non-Muslims were targeted. A lot has transpired since, the proverbial water under the bridge, but this time it's not business as usual. Firstly, Pakistan's waters via the Indus Water Treaty have been put on notice. Military action has decimated 9 terror camps, and post-Pakistan's drone misadventure, 11 Pakistani air bases have been bombarded. Today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi reaffirmed India's stance that each and every terror attack will be answered militarily. There will be no distinction between the terror groups and the Pakistani